Terrible news for rapists and child molesters. In California, now the statute of limitations for rape after the Cosby allegations surfaced are now going to end. Now, the Justice for Victims Act, signed by Governor Jerry Brown on Wednesday, abolishes the state's 10-year statute of limitations for rape, child molestation, and other felony sex crimes starting next year. The reason why I mentioned that it's starting next year is because the change came after dozens of women have accused Bill Cosby of sexual abuse, except for one case in suburban Philadelphia. Rape survivors face many barriers when it comes to reporting crime, but an arbitrary legal time limit is no longer a barrier in California. This is something that Caroline Heldman said. She's an Occidental College professor who co-chaired the EndRapeSOL campaign. And this is something that has already happened in America. 17 other states have already ended the statute of limitations. This is something that the Catholic Church actually fights against, has made significant contributions in lobbying efforts to fight against, which is absolutely preposterous. But
not surprising.
It's not very surprising. I wanted to ask you guys though, do you think that this will be, is this the most accurate, most appropriate way to try to combat pedophilia and molestation, or are there better things that we can do?
I think it's the most accurate way to get people to speak up on issues like this, to get people to speak up regardless of how long ago it happened. No matter when someone claims they were sexually assaulted or raped, it's regardless on the time that's passed. It's still not going to take away the pain and the hurt that they've felt in that time. So I think that when you look at the statute of limitations in the past, is that it plays into the reason why notoriously, as the New York Times reported, most sexual assault survivors don't report the crime right away, especially if the perpetrator is someone that they know. And
it's usually like, this is something we should actually talk about. It's usually someone that they know. We always think about this incorrect way that like rape happens in a dark alleyway, and that's what we equate rape to, but that's not the case. Usually there are a lot more instances of date rape amongst people that you know, people that could possibly even be in your family or, close friends, neighbors. This is where rape occurs. They groom you and then they put you in that situation, and it's way more uncomfortable to speak out on than I was raped in a dark alleyway. But then we also do see in America where you do get raped behind a dumpster, and then you get out, 3 months later if you're white.
Yeah.
But, that does happen as well.
Don't take our word just for it. Go and look into the data. Like, data has reported that it's one of the least reported violent crimes in America.
Yeah.
And with only a third of victims actually reporting it. And when the New York Times ran this article, it was so fascinating last year, is that even when they do report them, law enforcement routinely fails to fully investigate their claims. As many as 500,000 rape kits still awaited testing, and that was at the end of December last year. So if you're going to push anything forward to try and remove that time frame, because more often than not, what happens in the Bill Cosby case, which is why this is one of the most notorious examples to get this pushed, is it prevents that minimum period of time where they were trying to get all the case studies together so that they could try and file it before the statute of limitations had passed.
So what I was trying to say is, though, like, obviously, I think this is an amazing measure, and it should be passed everywhere, regardless, right? Especially because of what you just mentioned, where victims won't come out for a very long period of time after years and years of counseling in certain instances, right? But it's obviously a great piece of progress that we're seeing now, because even if it's a small number of people that will come forward now after this, you're changing their lives. They're going to get some sort of retribution, and you're possibly going to prevent that person who got away scot-free from raping other people if you put him in jail or prison.
So you might get some justice out of it. I want to explain, if you're wondering why there is a statute of limitations on any crime to begin with, there is a good reason for it. One is that witnesses become less reliable after all that time passes. And another is that the idea was that it's not just to hold a crime over someone's head for this long. Oh, well, 28 years ago you stole a slice of pizza, so we're going to come after you for it. And so
what you're describing is petty theft compared to something as terrible
I know. So that's where I'm explaining where you draw the lines, right? So in the past, the statute of limitations, generally speaking, was only not enforced for murder. So everything else, there was some statute of limitations. The statute of limitations for different crimes would be a different amount of time. So as Haas pointed out, now 17 states, and now California has joined them, saying, No, you know what? Rape and sexual molestation is really bad.
Yeah.
Against the wishes of the Catholic Church. Let's
Yeah.
just put
Yeah.
that out there as well.
Yeah, and so, no, even if a 10-year statute of limitations is really long, we're going to take that away because we believe in rare cases we can actually put together a reliable case against someone. And this isn't like stealing a loaf of bread 27 years ago. This is one of the worst crimes there is, and so we're going to seek justice for it no matter what, like we would on a murder case.
Yeah.
So I think it's very reasonable.
And one of the things that, one of the reasons that the New York Times documented as for the reasons against this in passing the statute of limitations or revoking it is that perhaps some state legislators feared that the ending the statutes of limitation for sexual assaults would create chaos, and therefore there'd be so many cases coming in that they wouldn't be able to deal with it all. Well, the 16 states that were before California, now adding them, making it 17, they weren't overwhelmed with a huge amount of cases that came in, and they're handling their work.
But that's
pretty
exactly
well.
what I was saying when I asked, do you think this is a good enough preventative measure? When you have 500,000 rape kits that go untested, then like we need to be, we need to be taking this crime more seriously before we this is a no nonsense, like very common sense measure that you should not go. I mean, should not be allowed to begin with, this statute of limitation on rape. But then on top of that, we need to prosecute these people a little bit. We need to investigate these people a little bit better.
What can make it better? You talked about testing the rape kits. The counseling, secondly, for people who have it. The reason why they take so long for people to come forward is, as you said, it happens to so many close potential victims along with their attackers. So if people get counseling, they actually test the rape kits, all that requires one thing. Money. We're not willing to give it. There's no sexual assault lobby that's consistently giving money to politicians to finally have some kind of legislation to go towards their cause because they don't care.
Yeah.
We talked about all the time in the first hour, talking about these big families that have tons of money and they get what they want because they're paying people off. So as soon as that can happen, whatever the sexual assault lobby starts giving up money, then these next steps can come where statute of limitations now is lifted, money's given for counseling, and the money's also given to actually do these rape tests. Because the reason they don't do the rape kits costs too much money.
Hey,
They openly say
a lot of
that, and it's
rapists out
ridiculous.
there. Maybe we should get the private prison lobby to take a look at to take a better look at these rapists.
If you're upset with mainstream media, we have the alternative for you. Come build independent media with us. Your membership powers the Young Turks. tytnetwork.com/join.